I was fussing at a brother the other day, Tuesday night, because he didn't hit record. So there we go. All right, there we go. All right, thank you very, very much. I appreciate that, Justin. All right, up till now we have gone through the first parts of the lesson 6 on page 35. All right, now thank you again. Please give me that idea every once in a while. The nominative, singular, ending, and feminine adjectives is what?
Alpha.
Alpha, a long alpha. All right, remember that. Remember, alpha could be long or short. So it's going to be a long alpha after epsilon, iota, or rho. However, any other stem ending, the feminine singular ending will have a what?
Eta.
Eta. And eta is always what? Long or short?
Long.
Long. Okay, and that's important for what purpose? Accents. 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 Okay? Again, we don't accent a lot of our words, but I pointed out in the first couple of classes how it's important it is that we get the accents right to keep the flow of the sentence going in the Greek. The first and second declension forms of the adjective agathos, agathe, agathon, and dikaios, dikaia, dikaion. Okay, so that'll help you. Agathos, agathe, agathon, and dikaios, dikaia, dikaion. So when you're going through all of the declensions of those nouns, you'll remember to keep that in mind too. Now we talked about the idea of what use of the adjective attributes a quality to the noun modified. What is that?
Attributive.
The blank use of the adjective on page 36 now.
Attributive.
Attributes a quality to the noun modified. What is that? The attributive use. All right. Now list the 2 ways the author illustrates this use. The idea that he gave us was what? You have ho, agathos, logos, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or ho, logos,
Ho agathos.
ho, agathos. Now, these are saying the same exact thing, are they not?
Mm-hmm.
They are. The reason why you know that is because of the article. Where's the article here? It's always before the adjective. Ho agathos or ho agathos here. The article is before the adjective, so it's describing the word. Ho agathos logos is describing the word. Both of those ways could be translated the good word. That's just all there is to it. All right? So that's what we mean by the attributive use. All right? In the attributive use of adjectives, the definite article usually what? The adjective?
Precedes.
Precedes. All right. Now notice again, 643. Ho agathos logos and ho logos ho agathos are equivalent expressions, but they are not identical. The English translation does not demonstrate the difference. However, in ho agathos logos, the adjective is stressed. And in ho logos, ho agathos, emphasis is distributed more equally. Now, remember, I've said this all along, and I continue to preach this. It all depends about the order in the words of the sentence. In the English, we always put subject, verb, predicate. The Greek is not as interested in that as much as they're trying to place emphasis on something. So, in this, you have ho agathos logos, you have the good word, and that makes sense. We would translate this next one, ho agathos logos, as the good word, but the emphasis is upon what? The word. It's not just any word, it's the good word, okay? And because it's placed first there in this respect, is emphasized, the emphasis is upon the word as opposed to what kind of word it is. All right? Does that make sense?
What would be the significance of that, Tom? I mean, as far as like scripture is concerned, where would you find something where it would, you've talked about like the disciple teaches the good word. Mm-hmm. Where would you find ho logos, ho agathos, say for example in scripture? I'm just for my own edification.
I can't think of any scripture right off the top of my head where that is the case. But again, can you see the difference between just the good word and the word, the good one? Okay. The emphasis is upon the word as opposed to here as the good word. So I'll be honest with you, but I will try to look and see if I can find something between now and next week.
I was just curious.
This idea, okay? And again, when you're reading in the Greek, it's extremely interesting to get this. This opens up a whole new facet to our understanding of translations, as well as what? Our understanding of what's really being said there.
Mm-hmm.
I see this a lot in Mark. I've been doing a lot of preaching on Mark this year. In fact, all year long I've been doing this, and I've been going back to the Greek in a lot of this. And it's like, wow, if we could really see it as it is in the Greek, you see what the emphasis really is and how they're trying to stress this part. Whereas because we translate it to English, sometimes we miss the emphasis. Now, the truth is still there, but we miss the extra emphasis to tell us this is what was really important to the writer, to God, as he's writing this. Okay? So that's where this kind of study comes in. And that's why we're studying this, so that you can kind of keep that in your mind, especially when you're doing some study and you're looking up something in the Greek, or you're looking up a Bible passage, and then you see the idea, okay, here's the emphasis. I think we even kind of looked at this last week a little bit when we talked about the two passages that was actually quoted in the last lesson. We talked about that. I'm trying to find where that was. That booger bear sentence, you remember, from 1 Corinthians chapter 13, and I did the translation on that. But again, the way the words were put in there in that respect made the emphasis important. Let's see where that is. Where is that page sentence? Page 28. Thank you. Yes, page 28, I'm sorry.
Yep.
If the word, or if the tongues of men I speak, and the angels, but love not, I have. Now you hear the emphasis here? Okay, if the tongues of men I speak. So if I speak the tongues of men and angels, okay? So, but love, but not I have. Notice here the emphasis, love, but not I have. So it's love is what's being emphasized there, right? If I have, so we translated and have not love. Well, to us, sometimes we're not emphasizing we get the emphasis and have not love, but sometimes we miss out that the important word there is the word love, okay? So if I speak with the tongues of men and of angels, but love not I have. If I have not love, then what is it? So there again, it kind of emphasizes that a little bit more. And again, in the line of the context of the whole passage of 1 Corinthians 13, where he talks about that ideal of love, that's why I think the emphasis is there. All right? So keep that in mind. And I underline that and circle that 643A, or A3 on page 36. All right? The order of the words in the sentence. All right? The predicate use of the adjective makes an assertion or statement about the noun. So how would you use this? The predicate use of the adjective is going to say what? The difference is where the article is. So you might have logos. Wait a minute. Sorry. Agathos. Logos. There's no article in front of the agathos. So now you're talking about the word is good. This is the word is good. How can you tell the difference? The only difference is there's no article here. There's no article in front of the adjective. So good is the word, is the way you can translate that. Or you could put hologos, agathos, and again, the word good. The word is good. Not the good word, the word is good. Is there a difference between that? The good word and the word is good. Yeah, there's a little bit of difference, right? As opposed to the specific word being good. Now the word itself could be just the word, all of it's good. Okay? So all of that could come into play there. And that's the predicate use of it. And again, the simple thing to remember is that it does not have the article before the adjective. The predicate use, when the article usually precedes the noun and not the adjective. A second identifying factor is the predicate adjective is always in the nominative case. So the predicate adjective is always in the nominative case. Again, this is much more important in Greek than in English. It would be served some of the most important and characteristic elements are based on this distinction. We haven't really, what we're just trying to do now is learning how to do it, but just understand that there is a difference in how important that is. And then you have the substantive, 6.4c1, use of the adjective, where it functions as a noun. So, how would you translate this, where it's just functioning as a noun? Again, ho agathos. All right, now, how would you translate that? If you see that, you know that agathos is an adjective. But how would you translate that? Well, first off, it could be translated the good one. Because it's not really defining what? It's not really defining. It could be the good. It could be a good thing or a good man. A lot of times we should translate it man because it has what? A masculine ending, right?
Yep.
So there would be nothing wrong with translating this the good man, even though you don't have the word anthropos there, okay? So, or einer there. So the important is this, you can translate the good whatever, all right? And that's the substantive use. So that's all there is to it, all right? The student should observe on page 37 now that no specific noun can be supplied by the substantive adjective unless it is clearly implied in the context or as clause, all right? Some unexpressed noun identified by gender and number of adjective must be understood. And again, so how would you know this? So it would depend upon the context of the sentence, okay? So you could put ho agathos, the good one, or the context, if there's a man implied in the context, you could put the good man. The definite article, even itself, can be used substantively. In other words, if you just have a definite article out here and it's not attached to anything, sometimes even that could be used as an adjective. That's lesson 30. We're only in lesson 6. Okay. That's lesson 30. That's probably at the end of the semester next year, okay? All right, just want to get in mind, all right, that actually could happen and you can do that. All right. Occasionally, the accusative singular of certain adjectives is used adverbially. Adverbially. And again, what is an adverb? An adverb is a word that what? Modifies a verb, an adjective, or another adverb. So I'm just reminding you that from English. So it can be used adverbially every once in a while, and they will modify a verb, an adjective, or another adverb. So all the rules that we understand from English are still going to apply here in this Greek context, or that idea. All right? Any questions? We covered a lot of that last week. All right. Who is going to take the first sentence on page 37? Who's going to be brave enough to give that to us? All righty? Say the sentence out loud and then give us the translation.
I'll get it.
Thank you, Chuck.
All right. Agapetos, mathetes, akue, tus, agathus, logos.
Very good. Very good. And you have what translation?
The beloved disciple hears the good word.
The good word or good words?
You're right. No, it's correct. You're right.
Okay.
Yeah. I got in a hurry.
All right. So again, I appreciate that. Appreciate that. All right. How can you be certain that agapetos modifies mathetes and agathus modifies logos?
Is it still me?
Yeah, you're the one that volunteered on that first one.
I'm on the hot seat. Well, agapetos precedes mathetes, so it's kind of assumed that it's modifying the noun that comes after it. That's the adjective.
Okay, but we also see the different endings here.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. Why is there a different ending?
To make the gender agree.
Right. Right. So that's what's important. Agapetos is modifying mathetes, even though mathetes has a feminine ending. Okay.
Right.
So that's important. It must have that masculine adjective ending. Now, what about agathus logos?
The ending makes it agree as far as plurality, right?
That's right. Right. It's the same with both of them.
Correct.
Okay. All right. Now, B.
Are the two adjectives agapetos and agathous attributive, predicative, or substantive? They are attributive because they ascribe a quality to the noun.
Very good. And how do you know that? From the sentence.
Hang on a second. Okay, never mind. I'm not sure how to answer that. It's
Okay.
almost intuitive. I'm not even sure how to answer that
Well,
question.
you're right. It is somewhat intuitive, but we know it's attributed because of the position of the article.
Okay.
The article is always before the adjective. If the article is not before the adjective, it's going to be in the predicate sense.
Okay.
All right. So keep that in mind. The position of the article, that's very important. That's always keep that in mind. The position of the article tells us whether it's attributive, predicate, or substantive. Okay. And even the substantive, it doesn't tell us immediately unless there's not a what? A noun to follow it. Okay. So just keep that in mind. All right. Good job, Chuck. Good job. Justin, you want to take number 2?
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Say the sentence, give me your translation, and we'll go through all the answers together. Okay? Go ahead, brother.
Okay. Gay, tone, monon, uion,
Mm-hmm.
to, micro, oiko.
Very good, very good, very good. Now we just say it a little quicker and a little faster. And again, the more you say it, the easier it gets. Okay, ton monon, huion, to micro, oiko. Very good. All right. What's the translation?
He leads. He alone leads the household, or he leads. That's where I'm struggling.
Okay. Let's help it out. Now, we know that the subject is found in the verb itself. There's no masculine nominative or feminine nominative case here. So we know that age is the verb, and we know, and again, always remember, where do you go to first? Always look for the verb, look for the ending. So because we see no subject there, we have to see that there. So it's he leads. Now, the next 3 words are, who is he leading? Ton monon huion.
The only, I don't know. I think I wrote down the wrong word. I've got only for.
That's right. That's right.
Only.
The only son.
Son.
Yeah. He leads the only son. Okay, now the next phrase. To micro oiko. First off, let's look at that a minute. What is that? Masculine, genitive, ablative, dative, locative, instrumental, or accusative? That case. To micro oiko. Now notice all 3 of those go together. So what case that is?
The dative.
Very good. So he leads the only son to what?
The house.
Okay, what kind of house? Notice you have an adjective there describing the house. So you have the word micro, which means what? Mikros, mikre, mikron, small or little. And again, remember last week I pointed out the point that micros, we get the word microscope.
Yes, sir.
Micro. So he leads the only son to where? To the small house. To the small or little house. And that's the interpretation or translation. So how is monon used in this sentence?
It's to describe
All right, what case is it? Let's ask that question. What case is it?
Monon. Is it the accusative?
Very good, very good. The case of direct object, okay? So monon is the adjective describing what? The son, right? Again, it's the accusative case. How do I know that? Because of the endings of the word, all right? All right, so remember, if you go through that whole second declension, it's monos, monu, mono. I have to sit and think about it too. And monon, and then if it's the vocative case, it would be monet, okay? Not the paintings. Okay, all right. So you have to go through that. Monoi, moinon, mo, I'm trying to think of the monois and monus, okay? So you go through all of those endings, and that's how you get to that, all right? Locate oiko. What part of speech is it?
Noun.
Very good. Function in the sentence?
Subject.
Do what?
Is it? It's not the subject.
No. It's the indirect object because it's the dative case. Okay. So once you learn the cases will tell us whether it's indirect object, subject, or the object of the sentence. Okay. So that's important to keep that in mind. All right. What case is it?
That is the is it the perfect? Not the perfect. It's the
No.
Nominative, genitive, ablative, dative, locative, instrumental, or accusative.
dative.
There you go. Very good. What I just said that. What gender is masculine? Okay. What declension? Second declension. Singular or plural?
Singular.
Very good. And the lexical form of oiko is oikos ho. Okay. All righty. Number 3. Who's going to take this one? Veronica, it's your turn. Veronica?
Okay.
Okay. Now this is a passage straight out of the Bible. Revelation 4 verse 8. Okay. So let's look at it. All right. Say the words and give me your translation. Now it's going to have a rough breathing. Hagios.
Hagios.
Very good.
Curios.
What?
Curios.
Curios.
Theos.
Ho theos. Okay. Hagios, curios, ho theos. Now I want you to notice there's not a verb there. There is not a verb there at all. This is just part of a sentence. Every one of these words are in what case?
What nominative?
The nominative case. That's right. That's right. But notice also something else. The word hagios. It doesn't say ho hagios, ho hagios, ho hagios. It's just hagios, hagios, hagios. So, what is that saying? It's saying because there's no verb there, therefore it's predicate tense. So the way we translate it is
Holy, holy, holy Lord God.
Okay, but because it's in the predicative sense, we're going to have to add a word. Holy, holy, holy is Lord the God. Okay?
Okay.
You see that? Why do we add the word is there? Because it has no article, therefore it's used in the predicate sense. Okay?
Okay.
Very good work, Veronica. Very good. Very good. Now let's get the rest of it. Transliterate the sentence. What does it mean by transliterate? We haven't really talked about this in a lot of detail, but what is it? You're just writing in English what the word letters are. So we put hagios. So if you translate it, transliterate it as hagios, like this. Ah. That's transliteration. All we're doing is just translating or literally taking the letters there and writing it down. Why is it huh? Because again, the rough breathing in front of the words. So it's hagios, 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 kurios, hotels. Sometimes if you're having trouble really pronouncing the Greek, transliterate it like this. Write it in English letters. Then you could figure it out a little bit better, especially look for, as I said, these markings as to whether or not there's a rough breathing or a small or a smooth breathing. So you got hagios, 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 kurios, hotels. That'll help you to say the words a lot easier, okay? So write them out. We haven't really talked in a lot of detail about that because there's 2 or 3 things here. Some people lean on this too much as a crutch, and they don't really, after a while they do get it. But sometimes what I was trying to get you to do, and that's why we've not done a lot of this, is just to learn to say it as you're looking at it, okay? So that's one way to help make it easier to actually say the sentence, all right? Having problems with it, always do that, all right? Now, what is the significance of the case, number, and gender of the appearance of hagios?
The same as the nouns.
Do what now?
They're in the same case as the nouns.
All right,
The same
it's the name case. All of them are nominative masculine singular of agios. And the word agios is an adjective, and this adjective is modifying what noun?
Lord.
Lord the God. Lord the God. Or the God,
Okay.
the Lord God. If we would translate it, it would be the Lord God, okay? But again, in the Greek, it's holy, 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 hagios, 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 Lord is Lord the God, okay? All righty? All right, number 4. Yes, ma'am, I'm sorry.
Oh, I was going to do number 4.
Thank you, go for it. That's good for me. That's real good. All righty.
I'm going to try it anyway.
That's all I'm asking.
Right. Okay, yeah, Kai, Hey, Basilea, Agathe.
Very good.
So my guess at the translation is sin is bad and the kingdom is good.
Very good. That's very good. Kake, harmatia, kai, basilia, agathe. Now again, you're having this situation where there is no article before the adjective, so you have to imply or put in some words. So actually, the way you can look at it is bad is sin, and the kingdom is good, or sin is bad and the kingdom is good. Very, very good. All right, 4A.
Are kake and agathe functioning as attributive, predicative, or substantive adjectives? And what is the primary indicator? I'm saying predictive because of the lack of articles.
That's right. That's exactly right. What part of speech is kai?
Conjunction.
Coordinating conjunction. Very good. And again, what is the function of kai in this sentence? Well, if it's and, it's always going to do what?
It's going to bring 2 things together.
That's right. It's combining the 2 clauses of the sentence together. You have a sentence by itself. Kake harmatia. You actually have bad is sin or sin is bad, right?
Mm-hmm.
You have a sentence, the kingdom is good. Hey, basilia, okay, agathe. Okay, even I have problems with it, folks, so don't get discouraged, okay? All right. You have 2 different sentences, but we're putting them together, all right? Now, number 4 or 5. Seth, you want to take this one?
Okay. Blepomin, tone, cacone, cardapone, chi, tone, colone, artone.
Very good. Very good. Very, very good. All right, what's your translation?
We see the bad fruit and the good bread.
Very, very good. That's right. We see the bad fruit and the good bread. Dissect and parse Bleppelman.
Okay, it's a verb, present active indicative. It's going to be, let me see here. Whoops. First person plural.
Right?
Lexical form is blepo, is blep.
Mhm.
The int is omicron, mu, epsilon, nu. The connecting vowel is omicron. Subject is we.
Very, very good. Very good. All right. B. What cases are the adjectives cacone and colon in?
The attributive case.
Right. How do we know? How do we know?
Thinking about it.
Okay. We know for a fact because
Articles.
the articles are in front of the two adjectives. The articles are in front of the two adjectives. If the articles were not in front of the adjectives, then it would be in the predicative sense. Predicative. Predicative sense. Okay. A predicate. So predicative. Okay. Substantive. Predicative. All righty. So there we go. All right. What function or what is the function of carpone and artone in the sentence?
They're the objects of the sentence.
Very good. They're direct objects, and we know that by the endings, and that's what ending is that? Carpone and artone. Nominative, genitive, dative, accusative. What ending is carpone and artone?
Accusative?
If they are the direct object, they're going to be the
Oh, accusative then.
accusative. Very good. Very good. Very good. My turn. My turn. Okay. Everybody break and go. Okay. Interestingly enough, here's another passage in the Bible, straight out of the Bible, 1 John 2, verse 7. Okay. Agapetoi, uk, intolane, kanein, grapho, humin, all, intolane, paleon. Okay. Now, there it is. So let's start making something out of this. First off, what I've always encouraged you to do, always find what first?
Verb.
The verb. What is the verb here?
Right.
Intolane.
Huh?
Grapho.
Right.
Grapho. Grapho is the verb. So now that is masculine. Excuse me. That is a verb, a present active indicative, first person singular. So now I need to try to find if there is a nominative case to fit that first person singular. So it would be like something like the Lord writes, or the disciples write, or excuse me, the disciple writes. Okay? But lo and behold, there's no nominative case here. So I have to understand that, okay, I write, in essence, is what it is. All right? The words we're looking for is I write. All right? Now, notice, I write, well, what does he write? Well, let's kind of go back. Agapetoi. Now we have a nominative case, but here it's more in the idea of, remember the verb is singular, right? Grapho, graphes, graphe. So it's singular. So we know that it's not, has anything to do with agapetoi. What is agapetos, by the way? What is that word? Beloved. Beloved. All right. So, beloved or beloved, I write, so we know something's being written to the beloved brethren. Okay, now we get into this part. Intolane kanein. Intolane kanein. All right. Intole is the word for commandment. We studied that before. And that is a feminine verb, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the accusative case. All right, so you can translate this. I write not a new commandment to you. Whom in? To you. Okay. Beloved, I write not a new commandment to you, Allah, but what? Oh, well, now we know what the verse says. Beloved, a new commandment I write not to you, but an old what? An old commandment. Okay. Leon is the word old. And again, notice the intellay and intellane in both cases are accusative, singular. So it's not commandments, it's commandment. Okay. So, beloved, a new commandment I write to you. I write not to you, but an old commandment. Or you can translate it, beloved, I write not to you a new commandment, but an old commandment. And again, what is the new commandment and the old commandment? Love one another. All right? So, now let's look at this. What case number and gender is agape toi in the above sentence? All right? It's in the vocative case, which means it's the case of direct address. So, beloved, I'm talking to you, beloved. All right? It's masculine plural. All right? It's the case of direct address. You can have it in the plurals as well. Okay? But here is simply agape toi, and it's kind of, you could put here beloved brethren. This word beloved is an adjective. You could put beloved brethren because why? Because the ending is a masculine ending. Right? You could put beloved men. You could put beloved women, even in this case, though most of the time it would use a feminine ending right there. It just simply means the beloved ones. Beloved. Okay? All right? Questions about that? What's the significance? Again, it's simply the case of a direct address. All right? Allah is listed as a supplemental vocabulary word in 6.1a of the workbook. The form Allah used in this sentence is the enclitic form Allah. Now, here's an enclitic. An enclitic is a word that loses its accent and is pronounced with the preceding word. So the way they do this is the alpha, the last alpha, is deleted and is closely associated with the word following. Usually the word is deleted, or the vowel is deleted whenever the next word starts with a vowel. Okay? So, agape toi, uk intolane kanane grapho, humin all intolane. See, so you're actually saying all intolane. You kind of sounds like one word, but it should be Allah intolane. But you delete that, or you delete that last alpha because the next word starts with an epsilon. Okay? All righty? Now, dissect and parse, grapho. Again, it's the verb, present active indicative, first singular, grapho. The stem is graph, the ending is O, the connecting vowel is O, omicron, and the subject, I, is inherent in the verb. All righty. Any questions on that? Clear as mud. Right? All righty. Who wants to take the next one? We've all done one.
I'll do it again.
Okay, thank you, Chuck.
We prophetai legusen canus logus alatheus tois pistos.
Okay. Alethios tois pistois.
Aletheus.
Alethios tois pistois.
Pistois.
Okay. All right. And your translation?
The prophets speak new words of truth to the faithful.
Very good. And that's prophets plural. Very, very good. Very good. Very good. The prophets say, or are saying, or speak new words of truth to the faithful. Okay? All right? Go ahead, brother.
All right. Prophetai. Part of speech, of course, is a noun. Nominative plural. The function of the sentence is they're the subject of the sentence.
Right.
Male gender, first declension, and lexical. I think I got lexical form incorrect. Prophetes. That's what I put down, but I don't think that's correct.
That's right.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Correct. But now you would put, in the lexical form, you would also put the,
Hey.
Wait a minute, whoa. It's a masculine noun. So you pay prophetes ho.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay. All
You're
right.
correct.
Was everybody paying attention to that closely? something tells me you might see that on a test in your mailbox. Okay. Anyway, just keep that in mind. Hint, 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 hint. Okay. Look at it very closely when you look at the test and see what you come up with. Okay, Brian, go ahead.
Let's see. Is aletheus genitive singular feminine, ablative singular feminine, or accusative plural feminine? Accusative plural feminine.
Whoa. Is it accusative?
With plural.
Mm-hmm. Okay, very good. Very good. You're right. It is accusative plural feminine, identifying what word?
Words.
Thank you. Very good. Very, very good, brother. Very good. Doing great work. All right. And number C up there on page 40.
Is tois pistois the faithful men or women? As I kind of want to understand, are they saying is it the faithful men or the faithful women? Is that the question they're asking?
Yeah.
Is the faithful men.
Okay, if you translated it, but simply it's the faithful, right? Because again, it's what?
It's accusative. It's accusative plural feminine. So, but
no, it's not accusative plural. It is plural dative. So this is the case of indirect object. The prophets say new words of truth, but
okay. I'm sorry. I was looking back at aletheus. I'm sorry. You're right.
Okay, that's okay. So the bottom line is it could be men because it's masculine form,
right?
But it also could be used as a substantive, simply the faithful,
right?
With regards to a gender. Okay, what would make the real difference if we had the sentence in a bigger context and understood he was talking specifically to men? Then we would put in the faithful men. But if it's just this sentence here with no other context than that, just put in there the faithful, the faithful ones. Okay, all right. All right. Comments, questions, thoughts, ideas. Anybody, everybody. All right, Justin, you want to take the next one?
Not really, but I'll try.
That's okay, brother. We're learning together, okay? And that's what it's all about. You're doing a good job. You're doing a good job. All right?
Number 8, right?
Number 8.
Ho apostolos. Didaske.
Is it didaske or genoske?
I'm sorry. Genoske. Tos. Tus.
Dikaios. That's kind of hard to say. Dikai. Dikaios. It is kind of hard.
Kai. Tos. Dikaios.
Dikaios. Okay. Now remember what we just got finished talking about in the last sentence. Now notice this sentence. Okay. What's your translation, brother?
I don't feel confident about it, but I put the apostle knows the just and the righteous. Okay.
And again, that we can do that, but notice he made an emphasis upon the last two of it. Notice that's the first part there. Compare and contrast dikaios and dikaios. All right, dikaios is what? It's obviously an adjective, masculine or feminine. Dikaios.
That is masculine, accusative plural. All right?
Yes. So again, you would have in this sentence, dikaios means the righteous men. Okay? We would put in the men because why? He's adding another group of people here in the next part of the sentence. Dikaios is what? Feminine, accusative singular. So you would have righteous or just women. So the sentence is the apostle knows the righteous men and the righteous women, or the righteous or the just men and the just women. But notice he makes an emphasis here, and I think that's the reason why they gave this particular sentence. We can add the gender because why? look at it this way. If we don't add the gender, you have the apostle knows the righteous and the righteous. Well, he obviously knows the righteous. Okay. But now he's saying, I know the men and the women. I know both situations there. So that's where the context would make the difference in the substantive sense. All right. Point B.
It is. It is perfected action.
Okay. Does genoske express progressive or perfected action? Now, let's put it this way. We have not really studied perfect tense yet. So it's not going to be perfected action. It's going to be progressive action.
Okay.
So, and I think that's he knows them. He continues to know them. That's the emphasis he's trying to get across there. Okay. We know a little bit about what perfected action is it something that goes on? If I do it here, then the results are all over here. So he knows, but the bottom line is in this particular context, I think it's talking about progressive action because he continually knows the righteous men and the righteous women. Again, it could be, and I'm going to emphasize this idea, the context could make a difference there. Because depending on what the next sentence said, if it was suggested perfected action, then it could make that mean that. But with just this sentence by itself, it can't. Okay? Great job, Justin. Great job. All right, who wants to take this next Bible verse? Let's see, whose turn is it? Oh, it's Veronica's again. I like to pick on Veronica. Good job. Okay, go ahead. Notice the rough breathing on that first word.
Hey.
Hi. Hi.
Hey. Hi. New.
Hey, Mayrai.
Oh.
Hi. Hey, Mayrai.
Hi, Mayrai. No, bro.
Ponerai.
Oh my God.
Watch the A's.
Hey, Hamerai, Ponerai, Asen. And we haven't studied Asen yet. This is from the word Ami, which is it's the first person personal pronoun. Ami, we've got a whole, Ami is I. I, okay? And so we have this. So that's what it is. It boils down to I am is what it means. All right, so how do you translate this?
The days are evil.
Very good. Very, very good. Now, in what use is the adjective ponerai in the sentence hey, hemerai, ponerai? What use? Is it the attributive? Is it the predicative? Or the substantive?
It's the predicative.
Right, predicative. Okay. How do I know that?
There's no article.
Very, very, very good. Very good. Very good. So the days are evil. Now, you could translate this simply, hi, hemerai, ponerai, the days evil, the evil days. Okay, but it's not that. We could go ahead, even if we didn't have the asin in there, you could translate it predicatively, but the word asin just adds an extra emphasis to it. Asin is are. That's the actual word for I am, is, and are. Okay, so simply put, asin is the emphasis. The days are evil. But you could actually translate this sentence without asin, and it'd say, eamerai ponerai, and you still would have the days are evil. Okay? Does everybody see that? Does everybody see what I'm trying to say there? Why did they add the actual word? Because he's trying to emphasize that. All right. Is the verb of being, asin, necessary in this sentence? No. Why is it there? For
Emphasis.
Emphasis. Very good. Very, very good. Very good. That's what's important about that. All right. See, Justin. Okay, Misty, is it your turn? Okay.
It is.
Okay.
Um,
Number 10.
Juice, necrus, ho, theos, egere, tes, escates, emeres.
Okay.
God raises up the dead in the last day.
Okay. Very good. God raises up the dead at the last day, or the last day, somewhere along that line. All right. What is the subject of a gay rite?
God.
Subject or the object? The subject. Wait a minute. You're right. You're right.
Egere, because God raises.
Right. God raises up the
God is
dead.
the subject.
God. That's right. Very good. All right. What do you base your answer? Because again, the nominative case. All right. Very, very good. All right. Parse the gay rite.
It is a verb. The subject is God.
Mm-hmm.
The tense. Third person singular. Is it third person singular?
Right. Third person singular.
Okay. Let me look at this.
Okay.
This is all running together right now.
I know. I know. When you're studying this like this, after a while, let me encourage you, when you're studying Greek, go at it for about an hour or so, get up, walk away, go drink some water, watch some video on YouTube, and then come back. And lo and behold, you'll find that a lot of this starts falling into place. I've always found that in my own studies, sometimes I study something for hours on end, and it seems like after a while, I can't get no more. So I walk away, I go mow the grass or something, come back, man, it's all falling into place. Oh, now I get what it's trying to say in all of this. Let me just encourage you, all those little things you've got to do it, okay? So, have you found the tense yet?
No, I'm lost right
Okay. It's present active indicative. It's present
okay.
tense,
All right.
active voice, and indicative mood.
Okay.
All right? Very good. All right, is hemerais dative, locative, or instrumental? Anybody? Dative, locative, or instrumental. We know it's one of those because of the ending on the word. Okay? So the question is it dative, locative, or instrumental?
Dave?
Hmm?
I want to say dative.
Okay. It does have a dative ending on it. I could be wrong, but it could be locative, stating when God will raise him up.
That's true.
When is he going to raise him up?
Yeah.
When is God going to raise the dead up? At the last day. And this is a locative of time. The time when the action of the main verb is accomplished. I had to actually, as I was studying that a little bit, I had to go into another Greek grammar. There's a book called Wallace's Great Grammar Beyond the Basics on page 153. And it emphasizes the ideal of locative of time and the ideal of a point in time when he was going to raise that up. But even though it's locative, we always say locative is a place, but it could also be referencing a time. Like we haven't been confused enough. Now we'll throw that one in there. Okay. All right. All righty. Very good. Seth, you get this easy one.
Oh. Okay.
Okay.
I'll try.
You can do it.
So, pistos de ho theos.
Very good.
Let me see here. Faithful. I guess have you rearrange that? I know it's like that. But faithful is the God.
Okay. Okay. Again, hotheos, we don't always translate the God, though that could be translated that way. Day is a post-positive conjunction, remember? So it's after the first word always. What's the word day mean? But God is faithful, but God is faithful. And here it's using it as what sense? The attributive, the predicative, or the substantive? No. It's going to be in what sense?
I think it's
Predicative. Can you say that? Predicative. Everybody practice that. Predicative. All righty. All right. Now, as I said, day is a postpositive conjunction. So now, why is there no need for a verb in this sentence?
It is a,
Is there a verb in the sentence? No.
no.
So why is there no need? Because the adjective is predicate, okay? There's no article before the adjective, so you imply or you put in a verb. And what would be this? God is faithful. God is. And whenever I write it out, I'll write it out like this. I'll put, when I'm translating it, I'll put God. And then I put this in parentheses, telling me more than anything else that this is a predicate form. So that's how I would have translated it. But God is faithful. And that's the way to do it. But notice I put the word in parentheses to emphasize it's not actually there. Now, there is a word for is. And again, that word would have been in there if he wanted to emphasize that. Okay? All righty. Let's stop there. Our time is up. It's amazing how much fun we've had this week, right? Okay? You're doing great. You're doing great. Go ahead and we'll go through the rest of this. Read through lesson 7. We're going to go through sentences. We're going to talk about compound sentences, complex sentences. We're going to talk about all of this stuff together, what a subject is, what a predicate is, stuff we've been using all along. This is going to be a very simple thing, but give us all that, and then we'll go through all of these exercises together. So go ahead and finish up lesson 6 and begin all the work on lesson 7 that you can get done between now and next week. All right? All righty? All right. All this beginning to really make sense. Is all this beginning to help?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Don't get discouraged. All right. I've said that and I said that and I said that and I'll continue to say that because I know, especially at this point of the time, you just think about this. 6 weeks ago, you couldn't even read a Greek word, right? Now you're translating sentences. See how far we've come. All right? Don't get discouraged. Appreciate your work. Appreciate your efforts. I will video or send this. Thank you again, Justin, for telling me about the recording. I do appreciate that. And we'll pick up there next week. Have any questions anytime, give me a call. Send me an email. All of you have the test. I'm still going to give the 10 points. Whoever catches my mistake on that test. Okay. All righty. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.